Welcome to a late edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. I am Dub. He is Mizzle. And I'll get right to it. We'll talk Final Four, both men's and women's. We'll squeeze in
Yes,
some XFL. And of
yes.
course, it's the final week of spring training. It starts for real for Major League Baseball on Thursday.
And show them what you're
But
wearing. Show them
oh,
what you're wearing.
oh,
Let them
oh,
know what.
oh, we're wearing the Hum Baby logo of the greatest baseball team in the
Just
world.
prepare for a lot of homerness when it comes to baseball. There's only one
Yes.
baseball team that me and this man gets along with, and it's the San Francisco Giants, and that's
And
it.
and F everybody else.
You damn right.
Especially that team in Los Angeles that wears blue. Especially them. They get a double.
Well, you know what? I'll respect them slightly if they can win a World Series playing 162 games.
Which still has not happened since 1988.
Slightly. Until then, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
How you doing, sir?
Uh, unless it's Jackie Roosevelt Robinson and Vincent Edward Scully. Other than that, screw them.
Yes, yes, yes. I second that.
Anyhow, I'm good. Came off of doing 3 out of 4 games on Sunday with the A7FL,
Yeah, that
which
technical
is
difficulties on YouTube was horrible. I tried to watch some of it, and it didn't allow me to watch the last game, but I did chime in a little bit while I was at work.
well. The funny thing about that is, there was a technical difficulty with the graphics on the last game, so we
Mhm.
had to keep repeating the score and the time left of the game. Which I mean, technology happens. It's live TV,
Hell, we were
but
having technical issues before we got on the show, so trust me,
this is
we
true.
know, and our loyal fans know because sometimes there will be a, and then we'll get back right to it.
And the sucky part about that is when there's a good flow going between you and I, and it wants to freeze, and like that's that bullshit. That is technology. But no, so for those that don't know what the A7FL is, it's
Yes,
7-on-7, uh, no pass football. It's tackle football with no pads. So
basically what
basically,
we were doing when we were playing at the across the street from the prison in Vacaville, playing our
that's
tackle
yeah,
football.
that too.
We
So
still
they
had
have
no pads.
uniforms. They have uniforms, team names. They use a white football, which almost kind of resembles a rugby football, but not necessarily.
Really?
Yeah. So they don't have kickoffs. So the kickoff is a 3-on-1 throw off. And it's really, really kind of exciting to see. Um,
Okay.
so it's the same. So it's the 7 touchdowns, 6 points for a touchdown. There's no field goals, no kicking whatsoever. So you can go for one, which is spot at the 5 yard line, or go for two, which is spot at the 10 yard line. So
Okay.
it is 4 15 minutes. So it's a 60-minute game, 4 15-minute quarters. So literally, we do three in the Nevada League because it's been a league that's been around since 2015.
Really?
Los Angeles has their division, and the East Coast has their division, and they have a national championship game to where I guess the teams from the different states that have it play each other. So, um,
Well,
all the games are at
as
Bonanza
long as
High
they're
School
paying you, that's all that matters.
that I am getting paid for. The only second thing is I'm not doing play by play. I'm being color, so I'm just as I said, being the good teammate.
Oh, you can take a back seat,
Oh
sir.
no 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 no! Like I said, it's all about me putting a portfolio together and just trying to get known. So, like I said, I'm just here being a good teammate. Um,
You will be on the
but
local news in Vegas sometime soon. Don't worry.
but it's definitely unique to do, or unique to watch. Um, it's
It was kind of
definitely
it was kind of weird seeing they're on the actual football field. They have the gear on and stuff like that, the jersey and stuff, and you seeing like, oh, this look like this could be a good game of flag football. And then you see somebody get hit, you're like, oh, they're really tackling somebody out here.
yeah, they're really tackling without no pads,
Yeah,
without no helmets.
yeah.
They are wearing mouthpieces, thank
Oh,
God.
yeah. Well,
They would want to.
well, they don't want to be looking like hockey players.
No, no, they don't. Brett Burns has still not replaced his two front teeth yet,
Why?
and
He's a hockey player.
we
Yes.
and we love Burnsy,
You
all,
damn,
all time
damn
all
right
time
we
great
love
shark,
Burnsy.
all
Damn
time
right
great
we
shark.
love Burnsy. Yes,
But
we can hockey around here too.
but there was a fight that took place here in Las Vegas on Saturday
Oh yes.
between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, and again,
Not disappointed.
Caleb he did not disappoint, and it just goes to show you that Caleb Plant is a hard fighter to finish, let alone knock down, let alone knocked out. And Benavidez was trying, but the judges did get it right.
They did.
Benavidez got the win.
Unfortunately, it's in Vegas because sometimes they don't get it right.
And well, there was a fight on the other card where
Yes.
the crowd let them know on how
Yes.
they felt.
Yes.
Because I'm still trying to understand to this day how he won the fight when he got knocked down. But nonetheless, it's quite known that Benavidez wants Saul, he wants Cinnamon Bad, and he's been trying to do everything to
Sometimes you
get
gotta
a
be
fight.
careful what you wish for.
That is true. But, you know,
Hey, everybody has
like
a puncher's chance.
who,
Everybody has a puncher's chance.
but who would not like to see two Mexicans do what they do best? See who has the bigger cojones.
Bro,
I mean,
we live for
I
this.
mean, we got Morales and Barrera 3 times.
Oh,
I'll take
oh,
I will take another Mexican trilogy. Please sign me up for it, please and thank you.
oh.
But
Man, those are the days of Julio Cesar
Benavidez,
Chavez, man. Oh, oh.
yeah, I don't know how Junior did not get any of Caesar's machismo because I'm still trying to understand.
Well, hey, sometimes you can't live up to your daddy's expectations. Ask Michael Jordan's son.
Well, on the basketball court, no, but
Oh, in
banging,
life?
but
Oh, in
banging
life, he's
Scotty,
winning.
but banging Scottie Pippen's ex-wife,
Oh,
yeah.
in life, he's winning. On the basketball court.
But now we got another fight coming up next month between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia.
And
That should
what?
be a barn burner.
I wish you can be here for that because yours truly, your boy, is doing a double feature that day.
Oh boy.
It's going to be a game night / fight night. And you already been around here and see how the game nights get. Matter of fact, this weekend's game night was litty.
Was there a lot of passion?
Oh, it was a lot of passion. And I would just say, your sister is very competitive. I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the qualities that I love in her. The big tall guy, he was getting it. We even played Pictionary. How about that?
Oh wow.
We got Pictionary. And yes, shout out to a fellow subscriber to the show. He brought some good news over to the house over the weekend. You know, him and his.
I was gonna say I saw the baby clothes talking about God Mom Goddamn, God Mom Goddad. So
yeah,
who's got a bun? Who's got a bun in the oven?
Mr. TG himself.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, brother. I didn't see it coming. What happened was, so this is. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get off script because I'm happy about this and this is a proud moment for me. But so they came over, and of course, our anniversary just went by.
Which, by the way, again, happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. So they both give us a bag and say that, like, we want to give you guys an extra. Now, mind you, Terrell has already blessed us for the anniversary, right? Like he shouldn't have done nothing else for us. He already perfect. But so we pull out the bottles, and they have the white onesie wrapped around it, and so you already know where my mind goes. The fuck is this? You know me. So Nicole already ripped hers off, and she saw, and then I pull up. But one thing that I did love about how they shared that with not just me and Nicole, but everybody else that was here. And just to see how everybody embraced them. That just lets me know that my family is tight, man. How everybody just came together and just supported them and gave them a whole bunch of love when they brought that information out. So again, appreciate that, TG. That baby look, the baby's already spoiled. I'm gonna say that already. The baby is spoiled. I ain't done nothing yet, but the baby is spoiled.
That's for sure. But yes, he has been a very loyal subscriber and supporter of the show.
Yes.
So definitely, Mr. Grant, congratulations on
definitely
child, if you will. So there's more. Okay. Go ahead.
What? There's more what?
I thought you had more. I thought you had more to share. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying I can't wait. To we got 9 months. Can't wait.
So switching things over, as like I said, looking forward to seeing Ryan Garcia and Tank get it on, and we know the hype for that fight is going to be tremendous and outstanding.
Oh, everybody's been waiting for this one. Them two,
yes.
them two. One of them was on. I can't remember. No, it was Garcia. Garcia was on Mike Tyson's Hot Box, and I believe this was last year. This fight was supposed to happen like a year and a half ago. I don't know. Negotiations must have went off here and there, but Mike Tyson called Tank while Garcia was there in the studio while they were shooting his podcast, and Tyson, the biggest instigator in the world, big kid, because he wants to see the fight too, just as well. Oh, he was instigating that. And Tank was talking big shit. And so was Garcia. And then Garcia was like, let's do it. And Tank was like, I'm ready. Just pen to paper. So this fight has been anticipated and it's going to be huge. I just wish I could be there to see it, but I'm going to be right here. Nice big screen TV.
Well, while unfortunately they got their shit together, unfortunately talks stalled for a possible heavyweight unification between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, and then Tyson Fury calls Usyk a coward.
So you saw that? Rant. You saw his little Instagram post.
I think, yeah. So, but I think eventually the fight will happen. But if I'm Tyson Fury, I do not sleep on Usyk. Usyk is a tremendous, skilled fighter.
Oh yeah,
and he knows how to fight taller. He knows how to fight boxers with height.
Well, yeah, because you know how Fury likes to throw the weight on you and his weight and try to push you down. Nah, he won't do that to Us. Us will push him back because Us will be in the phone booth just with him. They both like to fight within the phone booth. If anybody knows what we say phone booth with boxing, it's when you're here together and you're doing this. You're both together. And so Us can do that just as well as Fury. So
but I think the difference the difference will be is Usyk does his work going to the body, which ask Anthony Joshua about that. Because here's the worst part. The worst thing that a counterpuncher can face is a counterpuncher. that's the one thing you don't want to face if you are a counterpuncher is someone that does what you do best also.
Yeah.
Because that'll go against that. It causes a disadvantage because for every 4 or 5 counters that you might try and throw, he might throw 6, 7, 8.
Well, that too. But the thing about it is, Fury has a bigger reach, so he will try to keep him at bay with his reach. It'll be hard for him to get in there, but we all know
he would want to.
The thing is, though, he's going to get inside because Fury allowed him to get inside. But the thing about it is, when Fury decides that he wants to use his reach and just start pounding him, that could possibly happen as well. But we all know the Gypsy King puts on the show. He wants to put on the show. That fight won't end if they get it together. It won't end soon. I believe both of them be warriors and go toe-to-toe with each other. But I'll tell you what I don't want to see. I do not want to see Fury and Wilder fight ever again. Ever. ever. It's over. He owns them. Fury owns them. Point blank, period. And I'm a Wilder fan. Don't get it twisted. I'm a Wilder fan. I love the man. When he first came out, you saw the potential if he learned how to properly box, and you can clearly see that he has put in the time to properly box. Because in the beginning, when he started out, he was just trying to go there and knock you out in the first round, one with them haymakers, and he was wild with it. So now you see he got a little technician about himself, but nah, he ain't messing with the Gypsy King.
Well, I would still like to see him and Joshua go at it.
Now Wilder and Joshua, yes,
but I don't know if that I don't know if that will happen. But I would definitely love to see it. But
well, you know what fight we want to see, and they take it forever to get it done. Because if they ever get it together, if it's in Vegas, we're there. If they get it together,
you might get a live impromptu show at the actual event itself. You never know.
We might have to do our phones with that one. Yes.
Yeah, we might have to go. We might have to go one phone show
yeah.
with a stand some damn where.
Yeah, if they get that stuff together to get that fight, me and my brother will be there for sure.
But nonetheless, congratulations to Benavidez. He gets the win. But Caleb Plant is not going away. He will be back in the picture. He will be back in the town soon because he is a very, 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 very good fighter.
He ain't a slouch.
Now, coming into this month, it has certainly lived up to its moniker of March Madness. And it is definitely been madness. I really don't know what else to say because I don't do brackets because I know it'll go down the trainer on the first day.
If anybody has a bracket left, that means they did two brackets. They did one bracket they wanted, and they did the other bracket the opposite.
But nonetheless, I hate ads. But anyhow, it started with 64 or 68. It's now down to 4. And you got 3 first time there in the building of the Final Four, which is absolutely amazing.
Raise your hand if you had San Diego State Aztecs in the Final Four. Yeah, you won't do it. You won't do it. Raise your hand. Is it Creighton? If you had Creighton in the Final Four, and then raise your
Creighton didn't make it. Creighton didn't make it. They got to the regional final.
So wait, so it was who Creighton played then? They played
Creighton lost to they beat Princeton.
There it is.
But they lost to San Diego State.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because I did. Okay, so break down the Final Four, brother.
So,
just go ahead.
Well, first let's go through the Sweet 16 first.
Oh, that's okay.
Which start on Thursday. Okay. The iPad would get its stuff together. So, fantastic game in overtime between Michigan State and Kansas State. Yes. Kansas State wins by 5 in overtime. Arkansas got mollywopped by the UConn Huskies. And then me and Mizzle's we are officially on the fan club of the Florida Atlantic Owls.
Damn right.
Rooting for them to win the whole damn thing.
Damn right.
They beat Tennessee. And perhaps the game of the tournament, Gonzaga and UCLA, whenever they get together in the tournament, it does not disappoint. UCLA had the lead with 12 seconds. Gonzaga scores 5 unanswered points to get the win by 3. Then we fast forward to Friday.
I need that in the series every year. I need them to play each other every year. I don't care how they do it. Just they need to play every year.
So it was the number one. It was the 2 number 1 seeds left remaining on Saturday, which the Aztecs beat Alabama, who were, I think Alabama was the overall number 1 seed, if I'm not mistaken, in the tournament.
You're not mistaken. They were number 1.
Beat them 71-64. Then a team that is basically known for football, who my brother despises with a passion when it comes on the football field. But Yet the Miami Hurricanes. That's AC. That's old ACC
They're
habits
still
dying
in
hard.
division with my Tar Heels, so
They beat the Houston Cougars 89-75.
whoop de
And
doo.
and the matchup that I was intrigued by was seeing the Princeton Tigers and the Creighton Blue Jays. Creighton gets by them 86-75. And first
Don't sleep
off,
on that Ivy League team. They'll be back
no,
next year.
they,
They'll be
will be
back
back.
next year. They got a
But
taste
uh,
of it.
the Longhorns beat Xavier 83-71. And first off, kudos to Bevo and kudos to Texas for giving Ronnie Terry taking the tag off and saying, "This is your program. It's your program now." By giving him a 5-year deal to run the program, he did a tremendous job taking over for Chris Beard with the allegations that Chris Beard did involving him getting fired. All Ronnie Terry did was take them to the Elite Eight, and now it's his program to run. So kudos to him. I think Ronnie Terry will do a fantastic job running that Longhorns program.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we come to Saturday, and the tremendous game between Florida Atlantic and Kansas State. Back and forth. Neither team
Oh,
giving it.
I think that might have been the most text messages you got out of me in one day. Yes, FAU, FAU, and we're both sending Al messages to each other. What
It
a
was all
game!
it was all about the Owls. And,
Yes,
and even though it was in a loss, Marquise Noel, have yourself a game, young
please
man.
do.
The man came back to his home state, born in Harlem, at the biggest stage, the Mecca that is Madison Square Garden, and he finishes the game
Oh.
with 30 points, 12 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 steals. I mean, the man did everything but single handedly win the game for Kansas State. But again, a tremendous effort
Yeah.
as the Florida Athletic Owls from Boca Raton, Florida, punched their ticket to Houston, Texas with a 79-76 win over Kansas State. And some people might say that Gonzaga was expending all that energy against UCLA, and the UConn Huskies do something which is very rarely happen. They just absolutely mop the floor with Gonzaga.
And like
Final
you just
score.
like and like you said, I would agree. When you saw that, it's like this is the first time you ever seen anybody take it to Gonzaga like that. Even when they did lose, it wasn't like how they lost in this one.
No,
I
it's
don't.
always close down to the wire. Now the funny thing about this is at the half it was 39-32. So they're in the game. They're within 7, but in the second half, UConn outscores Gonzaga 43-22, but nonetheless, all credit goes to the Huskies. They're back in the Final Four for the first time in a very, very long time. I think this is the 4th time in school history they
Well,
have
was it the
reached.
last time they made it? Was it who was their coach? Ollie, right? Was it Ollie that got him there recently?
It might have been because by that time the great Jim Calhoun was retired.
Yeah, Calhoun was the last. I know the last one, but I believe Kevin Ollie got him there.
So you're right. That sounds about right.
Because they had that great run and they ran the story on him and how he's from UConn and all that stuff like that. I could be
Well, but nonetheless, UConn a very quiet 29-8 on the year, but they get there. Kudos to them
wrong.
as they're back in their first Final Four in 9 years. 9 years. Okay.
Wow.
And of course, the Huskies won the national championship the last time they were in the Final Four back in 2014. So there you have it. So it's the
Was that Kevin
UConn.
Ollie?
It's who who is their head coach? I'm still trying to find it. It's not showing me of who
No, I don't think Kevin Ollie won a national championship.
Let's go and do our history as I have the iPad out.
Yes. Please, let's make sure that we give the right information. I don't want to be falsifying anything here. So, how was it as you looked for the information? It looked like you were bundled up. Was it really cold out there?
Man, that wind was absolutely no joke. It was absolutely insane.
Hmm.
I mean, you're doing. I mean, you're just doing your best to try and just not, lose your doggone mind.
Your IG post, you were out there looking like an Eskimo.
I sure was. Yes. So actually, yes, Kevin Ollie was the head coach when UConn did win the title in 2014.
Well,
So
I do know some shit around here.
yeah, you do.
I'm not
I,
totally useless when it comes to this show. I just don't sit here and talk shit.
oh, you are not useless. Stop that. I'm trying to find who's their doggone head coach. Okay, so Dan Hurley currently is the coach for the UConn Huskies. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so congratulations to Dan Hurley, who last was coaching at Rhode Island. So he
Mm-hmm.
came from Rhode Island, which he had a successful program there, to come to Connecticut, as his Huskies are now back in the. So he helped Rhode Island win the conference title in 2017 and 2018 before he took the Connecticut job. And Connecticut, the last 3 seasons, made the tournament and now are back in the Final Four.
Nice.
Now, back to the other Elite Eight games, the Sunday games, which were very, very competitive. It was controversial, but nonetheless, San Diego State gets the win. And of course, being that my basketball team that I root for is in the conference that San Diego State plays in, as a Mountain West guy, I'm happy that the Mountain
MLB.
West. I'm happy that the Mountain West is well represented as they get to the Final Four. First Mountain West team to get to the Final Four. And for those that haven't paid attention to San Diego State has been knocking on the door for many years. They have had a fantastic program,
Yes.
um, which of course started by Steve Fisher, which many people don't know. Steve Fisher was the head coach when Michigan won the national title in '89 against Seton Hall in a fantastic
Hello.
championship game, which
Mm-hmm.
is mostly known for the phantom foul on Ramil Robinson, which was not a foul, but it was called a foul. But nonetheless, Michigan got the national title in '89. But San Diego State basketball program has been outstanding for years. And remember, before the COVID shutdown and everything, they were 30-2 in 2020.
Yeah,
And,
yes.
and many people thought they had a real legit chance to win the title that year.
Agreed.
But Brian Dusher has done a fantastic job taking over for Steve Fisher. Um, so obviously the Aztecs on the Montezuma Mesa, which has a very crazy fan base called the Show. Um, I know because it is very tough for my Running Rebels to win in San Diego at Vijas Arena. It is one of the toughest places to play in all college basketball, but they get the win over Creighton by 1 point,
Yep.
57-56.
That was a good game too.
That was a fantastic game. And
Italian.
then, even though it fell short, but again, kudos to Jim Larinaga going to his second Final Four as a coach. Of course, he was the man behind the story that was the George Mason Patriots in 2007 as they got to the Final Four before they got mollywopped by the Florida Gators when the Gators went back to back in '06 and '07. But
I've driven past,
kudos,
I've driven past that college.
George Mason, really?
Yeah. I should have went back and took a picture with the logo because in the front of their school they have they have a George Mason sign and they have it broken down. And I wanted to go back and take a picture.
Of course, your last name, of course.
Damn right. But we never went back because we finished that job and there was no reason to or no, we went past it and we finished the job and we had to shoot straight to the airport to go fly to where did we have to go back to? I want to say we had to go back to Atlanta, I think, or something like that. Yeah, yeah. I've driven past George Mason. Small school. It's like right in the like homes and stuff. It's almost like Berkeley. A little bit.
Nice. Well, Texas and Miami was a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
Texas had an 8-point lead at the half, and then Miami erupts for 51 points in the second half. But it's certain this is the Tar Heel / Seminole in him that is just giving no love for the Hurricanes. But the senior Jordan, there comes the golf clap. Oh my! But nonetheless, Jordan Miller had himself a fantastic game. He
Yeah,
was
he did. He
he was
did.
literally perfect from
Yeah.
the floor. Shot
Yeah.
13 of 13, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 27 points. But Miami, mainly known for football, gets to the Final Four. So this upcoming Saturday on April Fool's Day, nonetheless. Go figure.
Be trying to call me with no bullshit. We grown now. We in our damn 40s. We don't pull that no more. We don't do it.
Well, I didn't do that anyway because I'm just like,
I mean, I
don't.
did a few. I did it. Come on. It's
Of course, you're the second greatest asshole in the world, so I would expect nothing less from you. But nonetheless, go figure. The first game and the more competitive game would be the first game would be FAU against San Diego State.
Oh,
Of course,
what time?
3:09 p.m. Both games will be on CBS.
While I'm at work.
Of course.
Cold
Hopefully,
people.
hopefully I'll be off work to watch it.
Well, hell, hopefully there's a empty room in the hospital, so when I'm on break, I can go watch it.
But FAU comes in on the season 35-3. San Diego State 31-6.
You say 35-3?
35-3 are the Florida Athletic Owls. Yes.
And you can't say that they played in the soft conference because
No.
they played
Conference USA is a very competitive.
No, even in football, and ain't no pushover.
Yes.
They'll spank you in the bowl game. Don't let a Conference USA team get to a bowl game. They'll spank you. Don't.
They will make you feel their power, and you will sit there and you will take it.
Exactly. So yeah.
No, I mean they played. I mean Conference USA. Just off the teams in there. Florida Atlantic 35-3. The Mean Green of North Texas 29-7. The University of Alabama Birmingham Blazers, they were 28-9 during the season. Then you have the Charlotte 49ers, they were 22-14.
Was that UAB? Did you say UAB?
UAB 28-9.
So yeah, this conference ain't no pushover. Nah. No. And they're like I said, they're damn good in football.
Yes, they are. And for that part, so is San Diego State in football. They're very competitive as well. Yes. So, I mean, it's going to come down to Bradley for San Diego State and Davis for FAU. Which of those two gets off? But the one thing that has impressed me in this run about the Owls of Florida Atlantic is they just crash the glass and just keep getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound. And
well, you can tell what their coach preaches.
Yes. And I mean, it is a total team effort.
Yeah, rebounding and like you said, yeah, team effort. So before we move on, who do you got in this one? I know we've been riding with FAU, but it's San Diego. Ain't no pushover, and that's.
I am so torn with this game.
Yes, that's why I'm asking you.
As I have said, I'm officially like I said on Saturday. Or before that, when they came back to beat, who was it they came back to beat?
Are we talking San Diego?
No, I'm talking about FAU. Hold on. When they beat it Memphis.
Oh, is that when Anthony Hardaway threw the?
Yes, when Penny threw the bottle. I was like, oh, okay, but I really started cheering for them when they beat Tennessee. When they beat Tennessee in the Sweet 16, I'm like, you know what?
And Tennessee got a good team.
Yeah. When they beat the Volunteers, I'm like, you know what? I am
Yeah.
officially rooting for FAU in this tournament. I'm rooting for them. But I always kept an eye on San Diego State because again, they play in the conference that I root for because my team
Of
UNLV plays
course.
in the West Conference. So you always want to root for you always want to have your conference do well. Of
Well,
course,
I don't know what you mean by that.
okay.
I'll be damned if I'm
I'm
rooting for
speaking
Miami.
I'm
Speak
speaking
for
for me
yourself.
because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know when it
Don't do
comes to
that. Don't.
you,
Hey.
fuck everybody in the ACC. I get it. I understand it. Trust me, I do. However,
Mm-mm.
there. Okay, I'll say it like this. Okay, if my UNLV Rebels are not in the tournament, which they have not been in for a long time,
Of course.
um, if there's okay, like Bay Area teams, if they get in the tournament, of course, I want them to do well.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That that's quite obvious.
Yeah.
If UC Davis happens to get in the tournament,
Of
damn it,
course.
go
Yeah.
Aggies.
Sac State women. I mean,
If the
even though
Hornets
I
get
don't like
in,
nothing else
go
about
them.
Sacramento, but Sac State,
If freaking the Dons of San Francisco get in, damn it, go
hey,
Dons.
exactly.
Same thing with the UOP, the Tigers over there in Stockton. If they get in,
So,
rooting for them.
even
But
Fresno State,
Fresno State, damn right,
Bakersfield, anything Bakersfield,
yeah. So with that
Towson,
said,
Thornton, let's
the
go.
the Titans, which the Titans all, which the Titans always have a damn good baseball program. So
Always had a damn good
they're
baseball
always
program.
they always seem to
Always,
be in
yeah,
Omaha for the College
yeah,
World Series. Cal
yes,
State Fullerton
yes.
they have produced a lot of Major League Baseball talent
There
with
it is.
former
There it is.
MVP Jason Giambi being one of them.
We'll talk to him.
I'll just throw that nugget, and
Talk to him.
also the current manager of the Oakland A's, one Mark Conte. He's a former Titan. Just want to put that in perspective.
Hello. Hello. Oh.
Anyhow,
We dropped a little knowledge on here.
but anyhow, back to FAU and San Diego State. I am so torn because like both teams are very good. Of course,
Exactly.
you know how good I know how good San Diego State is because they just torch my Rebels all the dang time in Mountain West Conference play.
Sure.
But I said I'm rooting for the Owls.
Mm-mm.
I just I won't be disappointed if San Diego State wins, but I just have this that I just have. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like this. And I'll just jump the gun right here. My gut feeling is we are going to have an all Sunshine State of Florida national championship game. I'm saying it's going to be
Are
the
you
Owls.
putting them Canes up against FAU?
That's what I want for a national title game. But never, ever bet against the Connecticut Huskies because they've been there, they've done that. It's just like how we say about Mike Tomlin. You never go against Mike Tomlin.
Oh, unless he playing the Raiders, I'll never go against Mike Tomlin. Never.
Of course, but that's. I think it would be a great story, but do I think Connecticut's the better team than Miami? Yes, no question. But I'm just thinking from a team of destiny standpoint. I just think there might be an all Florida national championship game. So yes, I'm picking the Owls to San Diego State in a very close game. My prediction is I think UConn will beat Miami. I just think my gut just makes me feel like we're gonna have a Florida national championship game.
There ain't enough liquor in the world that can get me to say Miami is going to the championship game. It just ain't gonna
I'm
happen.
not. I wouldn't expect anything less for you to say that.
But as you sit here and say that, but my gut does agree with what you just said. But I won't sit here and come out and you said that, not me. I won't come out and say Miami go do that. No, but being a not a person that does not like anything to do with Miami, but a person that will watch it as like let's say a sports person, I can see Miami do because they do have a good defense and they do rebound very well and they do run the court very well. They do get the ball and they go. That's their thing. So, but UConn
and they also crash the glass very well, also, which is why I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. On the rebound, they get the rebound and they go. It's
same thing with the Owls. They do the same exact thing. They get the ball. They once they crash the glass, it is full speed ahead.
let's go.
So
I can see that, but I don't
like
want
I
to see
said,
it. I don't.
I trust me. I get it. But you
but
have three teams that are there for the.
that would be nice for the state of the state of Florida though. That would be nice, but
It would be, but
I am
also
picking FAU though. FAU. But I like San Diego though. I do
I
like San Diego State. It's I
like
agree
I
with
said,
you. It's
I
like
will
Mike
not
Tomlin. It's like Mike
like
Tomlin when it comes to San Diego State right now.
trust me.
But I
Like
like
I said,
FAU.
I will not be disappointed one bit if San Diego State does go to the national championship because, like I said, for those that have paid attention to college basketball, San Diego State has been there, has been on the rise for years. They're almost kind of like Gonzaga, just with less publicity. But I mean, San Diego State has been a consistent program going back to Steve Fisher. Steve Fisher laid the foundation, and it has become it has become a tremendous program in the Mountain West Conference.
Yes.
And I mean, people and for people that really follow college basketball, the Mountain West Conference is one of the most competitive conferences in college basketball. Because I mean, you have dealing with them, San Diego State, then Boise State's good. New Mexico has always been there because the pit is one of the great places that is one of the great home field advantages in college basketball. Of course, when my Rebels want to get right, of course, you know their pedigree and you know their history. Also, Utah State's very good. And then
Well,
Sparty, San Diego State had an
football programs are
outstanding
good.
season.
Just the Mountain West is good,
That
period.
too. And of course, you never can out Fresno State. It's always been a competitive league. And in most years, Colorado State has a good basketball program when they get right. And of course, it's always tough to play Air Force. It's always tough to beat Air Force because of the defense that they play, because it is hard to shoot the ball against them.
Yep.
And their defense is outstanding because they always have low scoring games.
Yep.
But like I said, I won't be surprised if the Aztecs win. It won't surprise me one bit. But my heart is rooting for the Owls because of just their story.
Yeah.
And how
I would love for FAU to win it all. That's where I'm at. That program, just for their program, because they're not a big program. San Diego State is a big program because we know about it. Miami's a big program. Well, who cares?
But when you think about the Miami Hurricanes, you think of football and baseball respectively because
you don't think of
those
them.
those two programs in those particular sports have been consistently not recently, but they're in their past.
Up there, they're the upper echelon in that division of sports where we're talking about when it comes to what we're talking about.
Because when you think Miami,
you don't think basketball, Miami.
No,
you
don't.
You really don't. You don't.
Which again, all the credit goes to Jim Larinaga, his second Final Four as a head coach. All the kudos in the world to him, definitely earned. But again, you just can't sleep against the UConn Huskies.
No,
you just can't.
Doesn't
matter if it's male or that's male. That's boys. That's men and women's. Yeah. Even though Gino didn't get there this year, but here's the one thing about UConn basketball on both sides. They're at least getting to the Sweet 16. That's guaranteed. Sure. that's almost like death and taxes. Yep. You can also throw in, and now you can throw in Dawn Staley and her, South Carolina Gamecocks, since she's taken over that program. It's almost like them.
We'll get to that game. We'll get to that game here in a second. Yeah.
But I mean, you can just never sleep on the Huskies. So even though I think UConn will win, even though my gut feels like it's an all-Florida showdown for the national title, but you just can never ever sleep on the Connecticut Huskies. Now,
you see it.
Going over to the women's side of basketball, as the Final Four will be held deep in the heart of Dallas, Texas.
So is both men and women going to be in Texas?
Houston is hosting the men's. Dallas is hosting the women.
Wow. Go ahead and
deep
get you
in the heart
some.
of,
Go ahead, Tech. Go ahead, Tejas. Get you some money.
right? Get yourself some big time money.
Right.
So, uh, going going back to Saturday with the Sweet 16, Maryland and Notre Dame. Maryland got the win, which gave them a matchup against. Go back. Good. Boy, technology, I tell you.
Just not on pace tonight.
It never wants to cooperate. I'm trying to tell you.
Never.
Maryland beat Notre Dame 76-79. UCLA beat or lost to South Carolina 59-43. Ohio State with the shocker as they knocked out Gino and the UConn women 73 to
Right.
61. And of course, the Virginia Tech, the overall number one seed in the tournament, the Hokies beat Tennessee. Oh, sorry. Then we go to Sunday in the Elite Eight. A tremendous run by the Miami women, but LSU got the win 54-42. And if you do not know who Caitlin Clark is, YouTube her because what she did against Louisville, and the Louisville women's Cardinals are no slouches
Hey, did she put up
whatsoever
a 40
in
point
women's
triple
basketball.
double?
Okay. We're just gonna go down Caitlin Clark's line. And oh, by the way, she's a junior. And if she doesn't go to the WNBA, she'll be back for a senior season.
Did she put up a 40 point triple double?
Well, I'm getting to that. Hold on. Hold on, good sir. So, yes, 97-83 was the final score. But Miss Clark against Louisville in
It's good, by the
39
way.
minutes.
It was a very good team, by the way.
Yes, they are. They're 30-6 on the season. Anyhow, she put up 41 of those buckets.
41 buckets.
10 rebounds.
How many?
10 rebounds.
Okay.
12 assists.
Ooh.
And just for giggles, I'll throw in 3 steals also.
Because I can play defense too.
Because I can play defense too.
Right? It's nothing.
So,
with that wait, said, and she got stroked. That's
yes. Yeah. She would be a lottery pick if that was to happen. So South Carolina and Maryland played a fantastic game. It was back and forth, but at the end, South Carolina and Don Staley once again back in the Final Four. Beat Maryland 86-75. Virginia Tech beat Ohio State by 10, 84-74, as Virginia Tech gets their first Final Four in women's history. So, Friday, you have the Final Four on ESPN. You got Va-Tech, the Hokies, 31-4 in the year, taking on the women Bayou Bengals of Louisiana State University of LSU at 32-2. And then the nightcap on ESPN, the Iowa Hawkeyes against the undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks.
Can you just say that both men and women got some exciting games that you like? I'm loving to see what Mrs. Clark gonna put up against Don Staley in that South Carolina Gamecocks. That's gonna be a tremendous basketball game. And they did it right by putting that as a nightcap. That was very smart. That might get a lot of views. That is for sure, because they're going to see what Caitlin's going to do. Just her alone, because she's been killing it all year. So, oof. Well, I don't know how to pick this. I don't know how to pick neither one of the games.
Oh.
See?
Because all 4 of these teams can win the national title, and all
exactly.
4 of these, and all 4 of these ladies can get to the championship game. Either matchup you get, if it's LSU versus Iowa or LSU versus South Carolina or South Carolina and Iowa versus Virginia Tech, either matchup you get, it's not going to disappoint.
Not at all. Not at all. I agree.
It's just like, you know what? I'm a fan.
Yep,
Screw
there it is.
I'm a fan.
Okay, that's the second time on this show that we just sit here and say that we're not going to pick anything. We are
It's been crazy.
deadlocked just to sit here and just watch the tremendous sport of women's basketball because it's going to be great. Though, but you know what? The game of the night will probably be Iowa and South Carolina. No
Oh, no
disrespect,
question.
no disrespect to the other game. I believe that's going to be a tremendous and an outstanding game too. But I just believe Caitlin might put the team on her back again, and I wouldn't be shocked if she makes a bucket to get them to the championship.
Oh my, he is calling a buzzer beater.
I wouldn't be shocked if she does that.
Do not be shocked. All right.
And now I would say the LSU women might have a little momentum because they got the Kobe sixes. You saw the video when they opened up the box of the Kobe's. So the spirit of Kobe might be flying with the Bayou women.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him.
But I wouldn't be shocked if it's vice versa. So I'm not picking. I'm not picking anything. I'm just saying. I'm just saying how outcomes could come. I wouldn't be shocked if Caitlin puts a dagger right in South Carolina. But I wouldn't be shocked if South Carolina just finds a way to win.
Now, switching over to the National Basketball Association, where the standings just seem to be flip flopping every doggone time you look at it. So, right now, as it stands in the Eastern Conference, 4 teams have punched their ticket to the playoffs: the Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, and joining them tonight was the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here was something ironic that I
Been
did.
playing great basketball, man. The moment they got the spider, and he's been posterizing people here lately, and it's been nasty looking too.
They are 38. They are 30-8 at home, which definitely helps.
Yeah.
They're 20 games over 500.
Wow.
Yeah. Who thought that? Not only that, this is the first time that Cleveland has made the playoffs not having LeBron James since Brevin Knight, the former Stanford Cardinal, was the starting point guard for the Cavaliers.
Wait a minute. When Brevin Knight was playing for the was I living in Fairfield? No, was I still in Richmond? Wow. Okay. Brevin Knight?
Last time the Cavaliers made the playoffs that did not involve LeBron James. You and I, my brother, were freshmen at Fairfield High.
Don't be throwing our age out there like that.
Okay, if you really want to say holy shit, here's the nugget for you. Sean Kemp was on that Cavaliers team that last made the playoffs without LeBron James. Yes, the Rain Man himself.
Wow.
Before Sean Kemp got fat. Because when he went to Orlando, it was not the Rain Man, he was the big man. But yeah. The last time the Cleveland Cavaliers made the playoffs that did not involve LeBron James was Brevin Knight, fresh off of his Final Four run with Stanford. That's how long it's been. Yes. But kudos to them. They've done it out.
But wasn't that with the Twins too? Did he play with the Twins? Not the Lopez's.
I know. I know who you're talking about.
I believe I know. Because they were in the or did Brevin Knight go up against the O'Bannon brothers?
Oh, the O'Bannons were already out of the
they were already in
they were already in the NBA.
Okay.
So if they did, it probably was when he was a freshman that they played each other. But
okay.
Here. Because they're
wow. Brevin Knight took the Cavaliers.
Brevin Knight under head coach Mike Montgomery. When they got to the Final Four.
Mike Montgomery was their coach?
Yes, he was.
Yikes.
Yes, indeed it was.
That's throwback. That's throwback right there, for sure. That's Evan Knight. He was a baller though. He was a baller.
Stanford, yes, he was.
He, he won a lot of games for Stanford.
Yes, he did. Yes, the Collins twins were at Stanford on that team that went to the Final Four. Yes.
I knew it was one of the twins. I know it wasn't the Lopez's because the Lopez's
Yeah.
was after.
Now they were a few years after. Yeah. But
Yeah. Look at me dropping knowledge on the show.
sorry, I made a mistake. Brevin Knight was not on that Stanford Final Four team. He was on the
Oh,
team that went to the Elite Eight the year before and
okay.
lost a classic game.
So who was
No,
the point guard for with the Collins?
Chris Weems,
Mm.
Michael McDonald,
Yep.
but that was the Collins and Mark Matson led Stanford Cardinals that got to the Final Four
Ooh.
in 97-98.
Not the dancing
Yes, the
Mark
same Mark
Madsen with the
Matson that
Lakers.
did not know how to dance when the Lakers won. And the Stanford Cardinals. And now he's back, unfrozen. But yeah, just to pin back what I says, that Stanford team was the Collins twins and also led by Mark Matson, the same Mark Matson that did not know how to dance
Dance.
at the
Yeah.
Lakers championship parade.
Yeah.
So it was that led team by Mike Montgomery that got to the Final Four in 97, 98,
yeah.
finishing behind the it was the Sweet 16 team with Brevin Knight the year before.
Okay. That makes sense. We're there.
Just want to make sure.
Well, awesome. Thank you for helping me get my facts right.
We always like to,
Gotta get the
make
facts.
sure we get sure. But yeah, okay. So Brevin Knight. That was the Twins' freshman year when they got there the next year, because Brevin Knight was a senior.
Wow.
So Brevin Knight and Mark Matson was on the Sweet 16 team, and then that's when the Twins came. Got it. Now, who was it they lost to? Oh, yes. It was the overtime game against Utah because Utah that year got to the championship game and lost to Kentucky. And that was the game that was at the Shark Tank. Oh, God.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Now the memory. Ding.
Yeah. Because you and I were on the phone during that game
Exactly.
against Utah.
Exactly. Now the memory just bing.
So
It kind of just shows how old we are.
Hey, as they say, black don't crack and we get better with age. So,
and I just love all the knowledge we got.
That too. So as it stands, the Knicks are still the 5 seed. Brooklyn is still the 6 seed. Miami.
I don't know how. I really don't know how.
Well, actually, you know what? Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, and I forgot the other third person that came in the trade. The funny thing about that is those 3 have played more minutes than the combined minutes of KD, Kyrie, and Harden when they were teammates.
This is also,
and they haven't they haven't even played a full season together, and they were teammates for what, 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Anyhow, the play-in tournament for the East is the Heat at 7, the Hawks at 8, Raptors at 9, the Bulls at 10, and the Bulls coming off a huge win by beating the Lakers, and of course Patrick Beverley, never a dull moment,
never disappointed,
just giving it to LeBron James and the Lakers as the Bulls are fighting for playoffs. So in the West,
small. He told him he was too small.
So in the West, only 2 teams have clinched by way of winning their divisions. That's the Grizzlies and the Nuggets. Nuggets are still the 1 seed. Memphis has snuck back into the 6 seed as they have won 6 in a row. The Kings,
Excuse me.
the Kings had a chance to clinch a playoff spot, but lost tonight to
Well,
the surging Timberwolves,
well,
as
now
they have won 4 in a row,
and they're now the 6th seed.
and they're now the 6th seed. Phoenix the 4, Clippers the 5. The Warriors are now back in the playoff game with a loss to the Timberwolves, even though they have the same identical record. The Pelicans, the 8th seed, the team that we despise a lot that wears purple and gold in Los Angeles, they're at 9, and the Thunder are at 10. As the Mavericks, once upon a time, were 5th. Now the Mavericks are on the outside looking in, and Luka Doncic is talking about, "I am not having fun." Well, it seems like so
Everybody
far.
that plays with Kyrie says the same thing.
Well, the funny thing about this is the Mavericks record has not been very good since Kyrie has been traded from
Yeah.
the Nets to the Mavericks. Despite the fact that Luka Doncic has still been a walking triple double, it's just the Mavericks have a hard time closing out games for whatever reason. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but here it is. That's where we're at. The Warriors, on the other hand, took a rare loss at home. Actually had a lead against Minnesota, but Karl-Anthony Towns hits a big shot, and now the Warriors are back in the play-in tournament. If it comes down to tiebreakers, they have the tiebreaker off of the Mavericks. I don't know if they have the tiebreaker with the Timberwolves because I don't know how their records have been as they play a team. But now it's you got to start paying attention to tiebreakers because the Warriors do not want to be in the play-in tournament.
Nope.
But that would be interesting if their first round matchup was indeed the All Interstate 80 series between the Kings and the Warriors in the quarterfinals of the NBA playoffs. That would be something very, very interesting to see.
Yeah. It
Now,
would be.
now, in your case of your beloved Sixers, what do they have to do to get back on track? Because at a time they were the 2 seed, and now Boston has reclaimed the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, as Boston is 3 up in the loss column. So basically, Philly is 3 games back of Boston of the 2 seed.
I just
What's
think
got to
this,
happen going? What's got to happen going forward as we're coming down to the wire as the playoffs are vastly approaching here in April?
I just think they're going to be comfortable and take the 3 seed. Clearly, you're seeing that they're resting. Excuse me, they're resting Harden. Embiid is being rested, so they're just probably just going to try to pull it together. Maybe I see Embiid and them might play maybe 1 or 2 more games, and they might just call it. You know, they got the 3 seed. Just don't overdo it. Let everybody heal, and prepare to run against Boston, because I don't think nobody else is. I don't think nobody in that division is beating us in a 7-game series, but Boston.
Well, if the playoffs were to start today, your first matchup would be against the Brooklyn Nets,
I think we can take the Nets.
which I think you could be. Which I think you could be the Nets in 5 or 6.
Yeah,
The
that's
earliest,
what I would. That's what I would take, 5 or 6.
the earliest would being 5, and of course, if Boston was advanced to playing the winner of in the play-in tournament, then in the second round you would be playing the Suns because normally the 2 plays the 3 in the second round, and of course, as you've been saying for years, Boston has been Philly's kryptonite.
Yep,
And eventually they have to prove that they can get over the Celtics to get to the Eastern Conference Finals
100%.
play to play whomever.
For years, saying it for years.
So in the Warriors case, it was great to see GP2 back. He is definitely going to help, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But
Yeah,
I think, as you and I have been saying all season, I think the Warriors are just bored of the regular season and just want to get to the playoffs. And you and I despise that turn the switch on crap. We despise it, but it just seems like that's where the Warriors are going.
yeah, I believe they're comfortable right now.
But
I don't want them to be in the play-in tournament because
no,
I believe that's going to
no.
be too much basketball for them.
Agreed. Agreed.
That might just be too much.
But at the same time, we know that if they get in, they know they can beat anybody
In
on
7
any given
games,
day because they have shown that.
this is facts. When the stacks has been against them, they shown all their championships they weren't supposed to win. I don't think they were favored to win one championship. Not one. Boston was supposed to beat them.
Bell said, "Hold my beer," as I got up for a 40 burger in the garden on
I
the parquet
believe
floor.
the whole Cleveland, every Cleveland when they were supposed to beat them. I mean, they got one.
Oh,
Hell,
yeah.
Toronto was super favored to win that one. They didn't stand a chance, but I guarantee you what, if KD wasn't hurt, they wasn't losing that. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I guarantee you.
Us, here we are, as the Bucks and the Nuggets are holding on to the 1 seed in the association.
Ooh,
Now,
let me take my statement back about the Buck. Maybe the Celtics and the Bucks are the only two teams that will take out the Sixers. Giannis is just a monster.
he is. He has
His
quietly
name
put together a
fits.
fantastic season.
His
He
nickname
is.
fit.
Oh
The
yeah,
Greek
he is the Greek Freak for sure. Now, tonight, um, as I was watching, as our dad likes to say, some BS baseball. There was a one final swan song for an all-time favorite San Francisco Giant who donned the 5-4 one more time tonight against the Athletics. The final of the game wasn't important, but just to hear him come out one more time to this song right here, just to hear El Menchon one more time, and you damn right, I went. But just to hear this one more time,
yes.
just to hear El Menchon one more time blast across the loudspeaker at Oracle Park, or as we like to still call it, the Big Phone Booth, that is AT&T Park. Just for him to come out one more time and to just throw the wicket slider one more time, and then to make it all come home, Hunter Pence is the one that comes out and gets him one more time, and you can see the emotion in his face. The man loved being a Giant, and in turn, the Giants fans loved him, and
Sure.
he is a big part of that core four with him, Santiago Garcia, Javier Lopez, and Jeremy Affeldt of that core four that helped the Giants win 3 World Series titles in a 5-year span in 2010, 14, and 2012. Of course, Miguel Cabrera is still sitting at home plate looking for the slider and not the fastball that froze him on that Detroit evening in October as Buster gave Sergio the Buster hug for the second time as the Giants swept the Tigers. But certainly, Sergio Romo, number 54, a forever Giant, a nice fitting tribute for him as the Giants close out their spring portion. And now it starts for real. And now it's off to the Bronx to open up the season against those damn Yankees. From a fan standpoint,
I don't know. I mean, of course, I despise the Dodgers, but I feel the same way about the Yankees, the same way.
but having two historical franchises like the Giants and Yankees do it for opening day, it's
That's
pretty quite
tremendous.
special. That's pretty special.
It don't get well because the franchise started out there, so
They were originally called the New York Gothams, but the name got changed to the
Thank God.
Giants. But yeah, indeed. But if you like pitching, Garrett Cole versus Logan Webb is the matchup for you. But I think Brandon Crawford might take his brother-in-law deep because that has happened before. When Garrett Cole was an Astro, Brandon Crawford did take him downtown in Houston. So it might happen again. It sucks that Mitch Haniger and Austin Slater are possibly going to start the season on the not the D, the injured list per se. But Bryce Johnson has had a very good spring. More likely will break camp and make the team. Blake Sable, who's had a tremendous spring training. The Giants are actually going to carry 3 catchers, but Blake Sable can also play the outfield. So yes, so they're going to keep Joey Bart. They're going to keep Roberto Perez, the former Indian slash Guardian, who is a tremendous defensive catcher, very very good, and is was a very key cog in helping the then Cleveland Indians make the World Series in 2016, and actually had 2 home runs in Game One against the Cubs in 2016. If for those that don't remember, him and Blake Sable will be the third guy, and this may be possibly the final swan song for one Brandon Michael Crawford, who was in the final year of his deal, who was the longest tenured Giant and literally the last chain to the championship
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
So it'll be bittersweet, but it'll be nice to see Crawford one more time down the 3-5, the orange and black.
yeah.
My realistic expectations for the Giants, um, which again they have the pitching, they have the starting pitching, because I think Ross Stripling, even though he gave up some ass tonight, I think he'll be solid. You know who Logan Webb is. Yeah, that's what we say. If you give up runs, we call that giving up ass,
Indeed.
especially when Jeff Samardzija pitched.
Oh Lord Jesus. He
Stayed
was there.
giving up the ass, if
The
you will.
straight fat, this batting practice.
But I mean, I do like the rotation. I like Webb.
Oh yeah.
I think if Disclafani is back and fully healthy, he can be effective.
Agreed.
Um, I really I think Shamanaya will bounce back being
Yeah.
back in the Bay Area, because if you have not seen Shamanaya pitch, yes, he struggled as a San Diego Padre, but when he was with the A's and when he is on, Shamanaya is very good. He no hit the Boston Red Sox, and unfortunately, nobody in Oakland cared because nobody in Oakland was there. That's it. Again, and again, I know a lot of A's fans. I know a lot of A's fans that are very loyal, and A's fans are very knowledgeable. But as we know, because hey, we love the dump, it's our dump, but the Coliseum is a dump. The A's need a new stadium. That goes without saying.
Why you think that team right there left?
Because of the stadium. And there was also some quarrel with the A's, from what I understand. Also, getting back to the Giants, I think the Giants realistically, I think they can. I think their win total range can go in between 78 and 86 wins. Of course, that depends on if they stay healthy. I think Tyro Estrada will hit 20 home runs because he had a
Ooh.
very solid. Yeah,
Ooh.
He had a very solid spring. He's
Ooh.
he is my favorite Giant on the roster right now. He's my favorite Giant.
Okay. I kind of like late night.
He I think Way will bounce back if he's healthy.
I like late night.
I love the Michael Conforto signing. I think Michael Conforto will be very, very solid. He's
Yeah.
a very good defender. Makes
I think
solid
the
contact.
outfield is decent this year. I think I'm gonna like the outfield this year.
Yeah, just as long as Jock stays primarily the DH against righties, even though he did get some ground balls in at first base. But again, I will say this: I think the starting rotation is greatly improved, and
Agreed.
I think the bullpen adding Taylor Rogers, who throws
Yes.
harder than his brother, and then
Yes.
having Jacob Junis in the bullpen and having Brebbia again, second year off Tommy John will be effective.
Yes.
You know who the closer is, and Duvall was outstanding. And Duvall was outstanding in the World Baseball Classic.
He sure the
Throw the
hell
ball
was.
hard.
So he looks like he's ready.
He's added the two seam fastball to already his deadly slider. So
Yeah.
now he's getting command of that. So
Yeah.
again, if they stay
Just
healthy,
beat LA. There it is.
well, that too,
That's all.
and beat the damn Yankees. And
Yeah,
who knows?
of
And
course
who
we.
knows? You may get a Mizzle and Dub show live inside the big phone booth when we attend a game this season. I was going to try to make it for the home opener, but it's just not looking out that way. So somewhere during the summer, you will see us in the big phone booth, and maybe just maybe I might not look so white anymore, but who knows? Still be sweating chicken grease, but as far as getting a tan, that remains to be seen. Because my brother gets a laugh out of this every time I mention chicken grease and or getting a
Stop
tan.
it.
Because
Trying to be professional.
what? There has to be some laughter here on the Mizzle and Dove show.
Oh, of course. Definitely. Most definitely.
Nonetheless, we are also getting closer to the draft of the National Football League in Detroit, Michigan. Some pro days went down. So some good things. What does your gut say about your Raiders at the seventh pick? Are they going to trade down, or if they stay at seven, who do you? What does your gut tell you on who they're spinning their first pick on? Is it a quarterback or is it on defense?
Well, I think the quarterbacks are going to be gone if we stay at 7. So if they're not trading up to go get who they want, I say the hell with it. Take Jalen Carter.
If he's still available, even though some mocks they have you guys taking the cornerback from Oregon, who is also very, very good.
Oh, I do like that. I do like that kid. He is nice. I did watch his press conference and he's nice. But I wouldn't mind him but I think we need somebody in the middle. We really need somebody in the middle. Excuse me. And I think Jalen Carter can be that dude.
Fortunately, I think his stock might go down because of his charges. If he does happen to slip to y'all, kudos to y'all if y'all do take him. But like you said, as we were talking in pre-production, as you were saying, they've got to hit on their draft picks.
Got to.
Okay, so you got the stopgap quarterback in Garoppolo. Obviously, you're trying to work to a long-term deal to make sure 2-8 stays in silver black for a long time. Here comes some passion, folks.
They dropped the ball with 2-8, bro. I might have to take the first thing smoking out of Sacramento. And you might have to come pick me up. And I might have to be that one fed at the facility.
About what the hell's going on here?
Okay, I'm good with the movement of Derek Carr. Cool. I understand the Darren Waller trade. Cool. I get it. You tried to trade him for a second round last year. Yada, yada, yada. I'm cool. I didn't want him traded. I think he could have been good under the system, but I get it. You're trying to go young. You're trying to bring in your guys. But if you let go of the leading rusher who you said, prove it, and then we'll talk.
He definitely proved it.
I mean, the Seattle game, he proved it to me. I mean, the Denver game where he just damn near hit I don't know what button he was hitting on the controller, but whatever he did to get through that damn hole, the man ran his ass off the whole year.
And, over 1,600 yards.
And if everybody on the other side could have just did their effing job, better record could happen. Let them let Josh Jacobs walk out the building. Just go ahead. Just see how Raider Nation to be a little upset about that. Get you want your guys. We get it. But you don't let that production walk right out the door because you want your guys. So I'm glad they stopped signing former Patriot players. That was starting to get a little irritating.
Yes, and then the infamous Patriots West logo just happened to come out, which too much Raider Nation. They want to win, but they don't want to do it the Patriot way.
Oh. I mean, I see how they try to do it. We understand rule number 1. I get it. And rule number 2 is refer back to rule number 1. There's only 2 rules when it comes to the Raiders. There it is.
Well, technically 3. The third rule is the 5-minute rule. All quarterbacks must go down. and he must go down hard.
That's the Al Davis rule right there.
That's true. That is
That was all
well,
out.
actually, the Al Davis rule is the number one rule.
Well, no argument from this Raider fan.
Must go down, and he must go down hard. The fist bump, yes, indeed. But yeah, looking forward to OTAs and the draft. Again, Ford Field will be hosting the draft, and that's going to be a fantastic atmosphere.
Football is almost back
in Detroit, Michigan.
Brother, we still got the USFL.
Yeah, that is starting next month, actually.
Yes.
So, and actually, we missed a heck of an XFL game tonight between DC and
I heard
the Houston Roughnecks. That was
all kind of ESPN updates on the watch while I was at work.
It was a fantastic game.
Wow.
On the XFL. The Defenders are still the only unbeaten team left in the XFL. They go to 6-0. Roughnecks go to 4-2. 37-26 was the final score.
Wow. Did it cover the spread?
What was the total if you remember?
I do not know, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty high because both of those are high scoring teams. I wouldn't put it past me.
Find
you might get it faster than I would.
Total. I do have the XFL app, and I do have an XFL thing on the ESPN app. So let's see.
Yep, you'll get it faster than me.
6.
But yeah, those two teams, that's woof. So how was the experience of that? You've been to a couple of them.
Yeah, they went over. They definitely went over.
Oh.
The over-under was 43. They definitely went over.
There was no competition.
Oh. But no. I mean, the atmosphere's been fun. The crowd's been lively. It's unique how they got it as a football field, even though I do think they should be at Sam Boyd and not Cashman Field. It's just two of the 3 games I went to, the one against the Sea Dragons and the one against the Guardians, were actually very good back and forth, fantastic games. They really were. Ben DiNucci, I think, might get a chance to play an NFL camp with his play so far this year.
You got to check his attitude a little bit, though. He'll be good.
Yeah, he needs to calm down with a mouthpiece. But as far as his skill, he's been fantastic. Josh Gordon is still that guy. Still that guy. He just needs to calm down on the wheat a little bit, even though the NFL is kind of let up on the wheat now. But Josh Gordon is still that guy that can get downfield and still make big plays.
Oh yeah,
I still think he can help an NFL team right now. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching it. It's been successful, I think, and I definitely think it will get a second season after this season because, like I said, with The Rock and his ex-wife is Mrs. Murder putting their names on it, they're not trying to make it very sucky-ish. They're trying to put the best product out there, and so far, a lot of the games have been competitive. There really hasn't been no huge blowouts.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been competitive. I'll say like this: not like the first 2 times where it was putting you to sleep per se. Even though in the XFL 2020 there were some still exciting games to watch, also.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this year, from what I've seen, the games have been competitive. The games have been fun to watch. So I hope it can have some staying power, just like the USFL. It's just like I said, it's the appetizer before the main course returns in February, which that is the National Football League. And of course, that hunger only intensifies with the draft next month in Detroit. But with that said, football's on the horizon. The basketball playoffs, hockey playoffs are on the horizon. The start of the baseball regular season is on the horizon. Springtime, like the fall, is always the best time in the wide world of sports. So with that said, We thank you as always for tuning into the Mizzle and Dub Show. Of course, you can always catch our YouTube page, the Mizzle and Dub Show on YouTube. Of course, we'd like to thank our his son, my nephew, for his contributions to our page. He made the graphic designs and whatnot, and also the theme song, which you didn't hear today, but the theme song is, of course, made by him as well. So we thank him for that. And we always thank you for subscribing. If you have comments, feel free to leave so. If there's a subject you want to talk about, feel free to leave us there. And we will definitely try to get more shows in. We might try to get in a show before opening day to might
Ooh,
possibly give our baseball predictions for
yes.
the upcoming season because as we said, it counts for real starting Thursday on March the 30th. But with that said, we thank you for watching. For Seth Rollins, got to make moniker to the Seth freaking Rollins T-shirt.
Visionary.
For Seth for for Seth Rollins, I am Turtle Wax. We thank you for watching this edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. Yes, I got him with the silent laugh. You know it's funny if I get him with the silent laugh. That's an